afternoon, I'm Raylene Ramsey. This is your afternoon news fix for Thursday, the 11th of December. 80% of West Coast stewardship land has been reclassified, the biggest rewrite since the Department of Conservation formed in 1987. The Conservation Minister, Tama Potaka, has clarified government calls on protected land. Rosie Leishman has more.
More than 190,000 hectares will now be protected under the Reserves Act, and more than 300,000 hectares designated specially protected areas under the Conservation Act. Potaka says this has been a long time coming. He says the vast majority of areas will finally have the accurate classification they deserve, reflecting their true conservation and cultural value.
Airways has taken swift action over a brief disruption to oceanic air traffic control across the Tasman in August. 5 aircraft were held in the air and 4 grounded in New Zealand and Australia. It was because of a clash in old computer coding relating to managing flight volumes as planes traversed airspaces. Airways has apologised for its poor communication at the time. Chief Executive James Young says most fixes recommended in a report have already been made.
We've learnt from this. We have taken actions to make the changes so that the communication protocols will be much stronger as we go forward.
Meanwhile, there are alarm bells within aviation over the quick staff turnover in air traffic control. An Official Information Act response reveals nearly a third of Airways Safety and Assurance team has resigned since January, including the General Manager. Airways says 8 permanent staff have left. It says the year began with 25 staff and 22 now, with 2 yet to begin. The Regulation Minister's not worried about law enforcement concerns as he slashes rules on growing hemp. Cabinet's agreed to remove licensing requirements for industrial growing and handling the crop. Growers must now notify police and MPI before they start operating. Customs and police have warned the industry is at high risk of being exploited. David Seymour says hemp isn't cannabis and the two won't be grown together.
If you want to grow illicit drugs, then A, the hemp just attracts attention, and B, cross-pollination actually destroys the cannabis content. So if you are into that, don't grow it near hemp.
A police watchdog report finds officers in Hawke's Bay unlawfully entered a house this year and used unjustified force to arrest a man breaching bail. 7 officers entered a Flaxmere home, believing it was allowed under the reasoning he'd denied breaching bail and refused to cooperate. Jacob Jones reports.
The IPCA report finds police should have applied for an arrest warrant if they suspected they'd need to enter the house. Police acknowledge the findings. They say the law was misinterpreted and they're working to ensure all staff understand their obligations.
To sport, and the Breakers have paid their most capped player the ultimate compliment, retiring Tom Abercrombie's number 10 singlet to acknowledge his 429 games across 16 seasons. Nearest rival Yellow Canes thinks only a major disaster will stop Kiwi triathlete Hayden Wilde clinching the TT100 world title in Qatar this weekend. And All Blacks winger Sevu Reece is off to France for 3 years at the end of next season, but has detailed his sadness at never being able to play with Japan-based Richie Mo'unga again. That is your latest news fix. We'll be back with the next update tomorrow morning from the Newstalk ZB newsroom.